その殺気を引っ込めてくれねえか。ここでやろうってんなら別に。
Hello, we're back to my video today. I'll be talking to you about how relationships will be like in heaven, I've done plenty of research. I've done lots of praying, lots of research and reading to make sure it's legit before I made this video. So, yeah. And, yeah, the way relationships will be in heaven, it will be different than on earth. Yeah, it will be very different. Once we're at heaven, will be fulfilled, and we'll have much better, easier time to balance, to put God first before your desires. Desires will still exist, but you'll be able to have more control over it, Yes, you'll still have your memories, and you'll still remember the people you met, You'll be able to hang out with people, have friends, stuff like that. Of course you'll have friends, but heaven will be celebrating, all that good stuff, praising God. And also, yes, there is no marriage. Yeah, like God said, will be like angels, there will be no marriage, right? And also, despite that, you will still be able to be with your wife, with your woman, but it won't be called wife, but will be called your woman. She will be your woman, because your soul bond. You'll still be with her, because of the soul bond in God's name. And I know it's kind of confusing because in the Bible, God did say, God is the creator of sex, He told Adam and Eve before the fall, be fruitful and multiply, enjoy each other, yeah, sex is okay. So obviously, sex is still on the table. God didn't say we'll become angels. He just said we'll be like angels, because we'll be pure. That's what he meant. That's all he meant. We'll be pure. We'll be like the angels. We'll have much easier time worshiping God. We'll have an easier time being in peace, And it's going to be like food up in heaven, because we don't need it, but we can still do it, Like the food that God mentioned in the Bible, we will be eating, Despite us not needing it in the new body, we can still do it. The same way it is with sex. And marriage is man-made, because the wedding ring is actually pagan. I remember correctly. Yeah, wedding rings is pagan, And so, yeah, marriage is man-made. God didn't say the word marriage to Adam and Eve. Just soul bound, soul binding, Adam and Eve together, because Eve was taken from man, was created, So yes, it will be available, sex will be around, and so I guess you can choose I don't have 100% the answers, but the ones that are single, if you're still looking for love and you want love, or I'm sure you'll find someone much easier time to find someone up in heaven. Some of you may not know much about soul ties. Well, what soul tie it basically is when you connected emotionally or through marriage and spiritual marriage, in God's name, not by earthly marriage with the wedding rings. The spiritual marriage, it's different. It didn't call marriage back then, but it's just spiritual ties, soul ties, That was originally it's called soul ties, and it's when you're connected and you're once it's connected, is you could feel it. You could feel their emotion. You could feel their strength. You could just you just know. You could feel it inside. And sometimes the the soul ties is so strong. It's like the things they do, you'll end up doing. You know, you know how people say like, "Oh, they rub off on you." Yeah, that's basically it's part of soul tie. Like you start copying them a bit because that your soul tie, you're starting to mimic. You know, sometimes without even realizing. Yeah, and that way you gotta be very careful who you're soul tied with because some of the people you shouldn't be even together with soul tied. I'm not just talking about in marriage, talking about with friends, a friend group, you know, church group, you know, because sometimes church they're not real good church. You know, like you know, it's very important to be careful of who you're soul tied with, you know, because it could damage your your journey to get to heaven. Yeah, that's the thing. Like soul tie, it could ruin your chances of getting to heaven. So you gotta be very, very careful. You know, the reason why is ruin the chances because if one person is like bad, like very bad, and they unable to go to heaven, but you're able to go to heaven, but you're still soul tied with that person, like you never like released it, you never broke that off, then that makes it difficult. That you know, and yeah, I'm still learning. I just know what I know. I don't want to be blasphemy or anything, so I'm doing the best I can. So yeah, I hope you like and subscribe or read the comment below. Like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see.